Oh boy, girl. Hey folks, it's Wayne Bolden. I'm here at the SpeedKing channel. And as always, please turn your closed captions on, subscribe, ring the bell. Do those things that you do for your SpeedKing. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And remember, tip sheets could be available this weekend for fairgrounds. Email us at speedking24@yahoo.com. Well, oh boy, girl. That's an old Bootsy Collins song, by the way. The fillies are back in town in the Rachel Alexandra race. Grade 2, I believe. By the way, Rachel Alexandra was the greatest filly outside of Ruffian on the planet. Let's just get that out of the way. My girl here, old Rachel Alexandra, right? Great race, obviously a Kentucky Oaks prep race, the first Friday of May, as we always look towards my girls. You know, I love filly racing, and, listen, this is a very competitive race to Rachel Alexandra, you know. Of course, they're going a mile and 16, 7 fillies, grade 2, 300,000, 50 points, 25 points, 15, 5 or something like that, 10 and 5 like that, right? So, you know, there's a few storylines in here, and none bigger than the number 2 horse, Good Cheer. Well, Good Cheer obviously is a Godolphin filly, undefeated, 4 starts, 4 wins for sure, making her 3-year-old debut. She's by Medaglia Dior. Wow. On the back end by Street Sense, trained by Brad Cox, and Louis Saez is in the arms, right? Now, obviously, she's part of my fantasy stable, and probably going to take some beating making her 3-year-old debut off of a 3 or 4 month rest, having won the Goldenrod and the Rack to Riches Stakes back there at Churchill in October. She's going to be 6-5 or less, you know. And again, she's not going to be my top pick. No, he didn't. He's not picking a Godolphin horse. Hey, listen. Obviously, she can win the race, the number 2 horse, Good Cheer. But she's going to be real short in terms of the odds, but she has every opportunity to win the race, of course. She's never been beaten before, and of course she's going to get into the Kentucky Oaks. So just wanted to get that storyline out there. But I got a real weakness for a horse in this race, right? The number 6 horse, to me, I always loved this horse. I've had her both times that she won. Simply Joking, right? Simply Joking is the number 6 and will be my top pick in the Rachel Alexandra Stakes, right? Love her bloodline. She's by Practical Joke on the back end by Dubai. And, Mr. Beckman's doing the condition, and Jamie Torres is in the arms. This one is 3 for 3 as well, undefeated for sure. Made her 3-year-old debut. She's 2 for 2, excuse me. Made her 3-year-old debut in the Silver Bullet Day Stakes at Fairgrounds on January 18th. She's back in just about 4 weeks. Okay, that's perfect. And I just love the way her internal splits are, and she just looks like she's ready to spring forward. Both of her speed figures to me are what I like to call pair-up type numbers. I always love that. Horses usually jump off of pair-ups in terms of my database. So I love to bet pair-up speed figure numbers on a very lightly raced horse, and have a trip across the track. Broke her maiden across this track, won the Silver Bullet Day across this track. Can't knock her with her bloodline by no means. Practical Joe. And Mr. Beckman does what he does, and Jamie Torres is a pretty decent rider. And I believe that the number 6 horse, Simply Joking, is going to be about 4-1 or 9-2. And that's a square price in here if you're going to try to beat the Godolphin runner, the number 2 horse, Good Cheer. So my top pick will be the number 6 horse. We really like this filly a lot. Simply Joking. Our second pick, well, we didn't stop there. The number 2 horse, well, to me, Ballerina Dior. Here is another one by Medaglia Dior. By the way, Good Cheer, the Godolphin runner, is by Medaglia Dior. So the number 2 horse in here, Ballerina Dior is by Medaglia Dior on the back end by Tappet. Here's another one that's really well bred. She's only has one win to her credit, which was a maiden race and 1 second. But that being said, Chad Brown is doing the conditioning and Flavian Pratt is in the arms, right? And again, this one ran 8th in the Jasmine Stakes, but came back in Den Moselle Stakes and ran 2nd. Earned a beautiful figure, making her 3-year-old debut, and I think she's going to be about 7-2. We expect this 3-year-old filly to spring forward, making her 3-year-old debut. I think she's a big threat in here, the number 3 horse, in spite of Flavian Pratt. No, I'm just joking, right? But yeah, the number 3 is obviously a very nice horse, and you're going to get a pretty square price because Good Cheers is in this race, right? You know, so again, our second pick is the number 3, Ballerina Dior. Well, we haven't totally lost our mind here. Let me go back to my folks, right? Well, Good Cheers. Obviously, she's in my fantasy club with Godolphin. Just a talented filly by Medaglia Dior, as we just talked about. Ballerina Dior, same sire. Well, Good Cheers on the back end, grandsire Street Sense, who won the Kentucky Derby and I believe the Tampa Bay Downs Derby as well. This one is bred, the number 2, like all Godolphin horses, are bred tremendously, you know, and so I don't think nobody will be shocked if she wins it. She's going to be a very short price. The only thing that shocks you about Godolphin runners, if they don't run well, which never really happens, because they don't have to race their horses, right? They only race their horses when they know that they're in great shape, and you know, they just got such quality horses, and they can pretty much handpick where they put their horses. So we expect Good Cheers to give a good account of herself, but there's some really nice fillies in here, so don't know if we need to take an underlay on her today. I mean, it is Brad Cox, it is Godolphin. You got my boy Louis Saez in the arm. There's nothing wrong there. He's a good boy for sure. So obviously the number 2 horse is the horse to beat, the Godolphin runner. We're going to try to get around her today from a wagering standpoint. We'll root for her as a fan of Godolphin and in my stable, but it's pretty hard to take her seriously winning money unless you're playing horizontally pick 3s and pick 4s like that. So let's try to get around the Godolphin horse, make her our 3rd pick in here. And if we were to round a super out in this very small 7-horse field, why don't we take a little value with the number 1 horse, Anamana. She'll be about 8-1. Jose Ortiz, Irad Ortiz is in the orange for this one. She's by Sharp Azteca on the back end by Point Given. Two wins from 4 starts. That's pretty good. It's Kenny McPeak, and you have Irad. So there's a little value on the number 1. I would only use the number 1 underneath. But I don't put anything by Kenny McPeak with young horses. Kenny McPeak also has the number 4 horse in here, Goswell Delight, who we cashed a couple tickets here in the community on too. So his boy Brian Hernandez is on there. We all know how well Kenny McPeak does with young horses, particularly fillies. So again, he has the 1 and 4. Those probably are horses to use underneath. So there it is in the Rachel Alexandra race. Hey, by the way, go watch some of the Rachel Alexandra reruns, right? The greatest filly of all time, in my opinion, outside of Ruffian. That's a different conversation. You know, Ruffian went 10 for 10. But Rachel Alexandra is obviously my favorite filly of all time, and you know, I always admired this race. So, in this race here, we're going to go right to the number 6. Yeah, we're just simply joking, but we're not. We think this horse is really good. So, it's going to be for us 6, 3, 2, 1. Just like that. You can go ahead and box it up. I'm not going to do such a thing. I'll probably just try to beat the 2 horse in my pick 3s. I'm just going to use Simply Joking the number 6 horse in my pick 3s, as well as the number 3 horse, who should be at worst case 7-2, I believe in here. Ballerina Dior, even though the horse, they got Flavian Pratt on the horse, right? Like the 6 horse, a whole bunch here in this year's Rachel Alexandra. The girls are in town. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm your Speed King. 6, 3, 2, 1 in this year's Rachel Alexandra, which is race number 13 on the card Saturday. Stay classy, y'all, for sure. I'm going to get down to, maybe I'll get down to Florida sometime this weekend to see the boys in Clearwater. And we'll have a little fun. If not, no, maybe next week I'll get down there for sure. Right? Stay classy in all that you do, y'all. My name is Wayne.